Okay, fam. So I told y'all I'm gonna go over the big beautiful bill. So that's what we're gonna do. So big beautiful bill is HR 1. Okay, it's currently passed through the House. It is in the Senate right now. So what we're gonna do is to make it easier on you guys, but it's still a lot of information, but as quick as possible. We'll go over each subtitle each day. So we're in Title 1, Committee on Agriculture. We're on Subtitle Nutrition. So this mainly affects SNAP benefits and stuff like that, okay? So when I go through this, so you understand what's going on. So we are on Section 101. That's the beginning of it. And we're going to go all the way to Section 112. All right, so Section 101. The new plan makes it more restrictive. The reason why it makes it more restrictive is because in the new plan, you can only base increases based off the CPI or inflation. Previously, you could base it off of, let me read it directly so you know exactly what it is. So it used to be able to go off of dietary guidelines, food consumption patterns, and other factors beyond inflation. So now you can only use inflation to increase SNAP benefits for individuals. So that is more restrictive. All right, so Section 102, this is the able-bodied adults without dependents work requirement. So this is more restrictive as well. It's a plus and a minus. So basically what it was is the work requirement to receive SNAP benefits were for the ages 18 to 49. What they did is change it from 18 to 65. So anybody from 50 to 65 that didn't have to work before for your SNAP benefits, now you have a work requirement. There are other waivers involved, but that is the main thing that changed. So this is, I guess it's more beneficial to some, but to taxpayers, but to the individuals who actually need it, this is worse. All right, so now we're on to Section 103. This is the able-bodied adults with dependents waivers. So this is more restrictive as well. So it used to be states could apply for waivers for that able-bodied work requirement if the poverty rate or the unemployment rate for that area was up to 20%. Now it restricts it to only areas that are above 10% can receive that waiver in regards to that. So that is more restricted. Section 104, which is the availability of standard utility allowances based on receipts of energy assistance. So this is more restrictive now too. So if you are receiving SNAP benefits and you used to have assistance for your electricity bill due to you receiving those SNAP benefits, now you're only eligible for those SNAP benefits if someone in your household is disabled or elderly. So before you could receive assistance if you needed it, now you can only receive it unless you have one of those two things, elderly or disabled in that household. So that is more restrictive. Section 105. Restrictions on internet expenses. So basically before, when you were doing your household, your shelter, and determining the cost for that, you were able to add internet. Internet is something that everybody should have access to, and since it's a requirement for everybody to pretty much have it, it should be included. This is more restricted because now you can no longer use your internet cost as a part of your shelter cost. And there's nothing that I've seen so far provision-wise that allows you to add that to help you when it comes to SNAP benefits and what you're eligible for. All right, so we are now on Section 106, matching funds requirements. So basically, what it is the federal government, when it comes to SNAP funding, will pay 95%, up to 95%, and the states are required for the remaining. Now, if your state has errors, which is clerical errors when it comes to SNAP funding and what it utilizes and doesn't, it will between 6 to 8%. It will drop the federal government's requirement down to 85%. So if your state is making a lot of errors, the requirement for the federal government drops, which is understandable because your administrators need to do a better job. But at the same time, it hurts the individuals because it's not their fault if there's clerical errors when it comes to reporting on SNAP benefits. And just to let you know, like Alaska's #1 in clerical errors, and they are a state that takes more from the federal government than they put in. Mississippi's another one as well. So this is going to hurt a lot of red states. All right, so section 107, administration cost sharing. So the federal government, when it came to administrative costs for SNAP, would take on 50% of the cost compared to the states. So it would be cost sharing. Now with the big beautiful bill, the requirement for the federal government drops from 50% down to 25%. So states are required to pay more than they were before. This is really going to hurt states, again, that pull more from the federal government than they put in themselves, meaning they do not have the resources in order to make these adjustments and pay these actual increases in costs. Section 108, the general work requirement age, and this is what was similar to 102. And basically what it does is the general work requirement for SNAP programs is raised from the age of 60 to 65. And this just limits on who is able to get exemptions and stuff like that. So it's restrictive in the fact of you're required more people to actually work than was required before. And I know some of those people are probably not able-bodied, so their benefits, they'll probably end up losing their benefits in the process due to this. Because I don't know who's hiring 60-year-old people. I don't know. All right, so the National Accuracy Clearinghouse is basically a good thing. What it is actual sharing of information between states to make sure that nobody's getting duplicate SNAP benefits. So that's actually a good thing and should already have been in there. Now we're on to the 110, quality control, zero tolerance. So basically what it is errors within the SNAP benefits, state errors within the rates. Little errors didn't count as much as other errors, and basically what's happening now, all errors are being counted the way it should be, to where there should be less errors when it comes to SNAP benefits. That way we can actually get money and funding to those who actually need it. We're almost done, people. We're almost done. So the next one is 111. It's the National Education and Obesity Prevention Grant Program repealer. So what this is actually getting rid of obesity prevention programs. So SNAP programs would tell you how to eat better, how to eat healthier, how to maintain a healthy diet, stuff like that. Those are being completely removed. And finally, the last one under Title I, Section 1. This is 112, and it's the Alien SNAP Eligibility and Emergency Food Assistance. Basically what it is two parts. One part good, one part bad. For those who are aliens, even though they are not illegal aliens, they are legal aliens, the amount of assistance and SNAP funding that they can receive is being reduced, which will hurt those low-income communities because you have more people suffering from poverty. Now, the other part of it is they have increased the amount of funding that they will give to emergency funding, like Meals on Wheels, stuff like that. So those organizations that need more funding will receive it. So the people who need it might not get it, but the people, so basically individuals, less money going to individuals, more money going to organizations. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. But for the individuals, I know it's bad. For the organizations, I know that's good. So that is it. So today we covered Title I, Section 1 of the Big Beautiful Plan, or the Big Beautiful Bill, okay? If you have any other questions, please put them down in the comments. I will respond to those. And then hopefully tomorrow or the next day, we'll go over we'll actually stay on Title I and we'll go on to Subtitle B, Investment in Rural America. And then from there, we'll move on to the next section. It is a lot of information. There's a lot going back and forth to figure out what the actual bill is saying, what the bill was before, what changes are. Is it good for the people? Is it bad for the people? How's it going to work? So thank you for sticking with me this long. I'm sorry that the video is so long, but we'll get through it. All right. Love y'all. Peace.